A revelation has just been released that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, and at its center stand the Kansas City Chiefs. Known for stability, dominance, and their culture of winning, the team now finds itself under the weight of a truth that no one anticipated. For fans, it feels surreal as the news challenges long-standing assumptions about the franchise. The Chiefs have defined the modern NFL era with Patrick Mahomes' brilliance and Andy Reid's leadership, yet this revelation disrupts that image. Analysts who once praised Kansas City as untouchable are suddenly re-examining their predictions. The NFL thrives on drama, but this moment transcends ordinary headlines. It is the kind of development that redefines narratives and alters perspectives. What was once dismissed as speculation has now become undeniable fact. For Kansas City, this shock is not just another test. It is a pivotal moment. The dynasty that has captured hearts and rewritten records must now confront the unforeseen, and the consequences could shape not only their season, but the legacy they are building. Patrick Mahomes has been the face of Kansas City's success, embodying composure, creativity, and confidence. Yet even he was caught off guard by the revelation that stunned the football world. His career has been built on rising to challenges, from playoff comebacks to Super Bowl triumphs, but this moment is different. It is not a question of his ability on the field, but his response to unexpected truth. Teammates look to him for guidance, and fans view him as the franchise's anchor, which magnifies the significance of his reaction. For Mahomes, shock quickly transforms into responsibility. His leadership is measured not only by performance, but by how he steadies the team when distractions loom. Rivals, watching closely, see this as a rare moment of vulnerability. Yet those who know Mahomes recognize his resilience. This revelation, though surprising, may become another chapter in which he redefines what it means to lead. His ability to convert shock into strength will determine whether Kansas City falters or reaffirms its place atop the league. Inside the Chiefs' locker room, the news created immediate tension. Players who had dismissed outside speculation were forced to confront reality, and the atmosphere shifted from confidence to disbelief. The Chiefs' dynasty has thrived on chemistry, trust, and shared ambition, but this revelation puts that unity to the test. Younger players, still learning the culture, looked to veterans for reassurance. Leaders such as Travis Kelce and Chris Jones stepped forward, emphasizing focus and perspective. The challenge for the team is clear: either fracture under pressure or unite stronger than before. Adversity is not new to championship organizations, but the timing and scale of this truth have intensified its impact. Conversations behind closed doors now revolve around accountability, resilience, and the bigger mission. The locker room, once a fortress of stability, must rebuild its foundation through collective resolve. The Chiefs' ability to weather this storm will not only determine their immediate performance, but also define how history remembers them, as a dynasty disrupted or as champions forged in the fire of revelation. For Andy Reid, the revelation presents another defining challenge in his storied career. Renowned for calm authority and strategic brilliance, Reid has always been the steady hand guiding Kansas City. His role now extends beyond game plans. It demands leadership that stabilizes and inspires. The players need his reassurance, and the organization relies on his ability to refocus the team amid chaos. Reid's history proves he can adapt, whether by reinventing offenses or managing adversity. Yet he must acknowledge the magnitude of this moment. The Chiefs are not only battling opponents on the field, but also confronting the weight of external scrutiny. Reid understands that distraction can derail even the strongest rosters, and his challenge is to transform uncertainty into motivation. His words, his demeanor, and his decisions in these weeks will echo far beyond the season. While the revelation shakes perception, Reid's presence remains a constant. He has weathered storms before, but now he must prove once again that true dynasties endure through the guidance of leaders who refuse to bend. For Kansas City's passionate fan base, the revelation feels like an emotional blow. Supporters who filled Arrowhead with pride and unwavering loyalty now grapple with disbelief. For many, it is not just about football, it is personal. The Chiefs represent identity, tradition, and community, and this shocking truth has unsettled that bond. Reactions are mixed. Some fans express anger, questioning how the franchise reached this point, while others rally in defense, insisting the team will overcome. Social media has become a storm of emotion, with voices from across the nation debating the implications. The relationship between fans and the franchise has always been one of shared resilience. This moment tests that connection. For players, knowing their supporters remain behind them can provide strength, but awareness of discontent can create pressure. The Chiefs' response, both on and off the field, will play a role in rebuilding trust. What remains constant is the passion of Kansas City's fans. Even in disbelief, their energy shapes the environment in which this story unfolds. The revelation surrounding Kansas City has not only impacted the team and its fans, but has also rippled across the entire NFL. Rival teams see opportunity, believing the disruption could loosen the Chiefs' grip on dominance. Analysts are quick to adjust power rankings, speculating whether this marks the beginning of vulnerability. Liga Machandon. Executives, always attentive to shifts at the top, recognize the broader implications. The NFL thrives on competitive balance, and the perception of Kansas City as unbeatable has defined recent seasons. Now, with this news, the conversation has shifted. Other franchises sense possibility, while the Chiefs face pressure to prove their dynasty remains intact. Yet respect for Mahomes, Reid, and the culture they've built tempers predictions of decline. Many acknowledge that true champions often rise stronger from adversity. The league's response is a mix of intrigue and anticipation. Every game involving Kansas City will now carry added significance, as rivals and observers alike watch to see whether the Chiefs stumble or respond with renewed determination. The media has transformed the revelation into the season's most dominant storyline. Headlines across networks frame it as a turning point for the Chiefs, with commentators debating whether this signals cracks in the dynasty or a moment that will galvanize them further. Talk shows replay every angle, dissecting the implications for Mahomes, Reid, and the team's future. In an era where perception often dictates reality, controlling the narrative becomes as critical as performance on the field. Kansas City now finds itself under a microscope, with every practice, press conference, and game scrutinized for signs of strength or collapse. For the players, the constant coverage adds another layer of pressure, yet it also creates opportunity. If they succeed, the same media that casts doubt today will celebrate resilience tomorrow. The frenzy reflects both the power and peril of modern sports coverage. The revelation may have shaken confidence, but it has also ensured Kansas City remains at the heart of the conversation, carrying the weight of expectation into every step forward. Looking at history provides perspective on Kansas City's current challenge. Every dynasty in the NFL has faced moments of turbulence that tested their resilience. The New England Patriots endured controversies and roster challenges, yet used adversity to fuel further dominance. The Dallas Cowboys of the 1990s faltered when internal issues disrupted cohesion. The San Francisco 49ers overcame transitions in leadership to solidify their legendary status. These parallels remind us that greatness is never uninterrupted. It is forged in the response to disruption. Kansas City now stands at a crossroads where history offers both warning and inspiration. Mahomes' shock echoes the moments faced by Brady or Montana, where unexpected trials became defining chapters. The Chiefs' dynasty will not be judged solely by victories, but by how they navigate the storm. Whether they emerge stronger or falter will determine their place in the lineage of football dynasties. History has set the stage. Kansas City's response will decide whether this revelation marks decline or a new era of resilience. The road ahead for Kansas City is steep, but not insurmountable. The revelation has created distraction, but it also provides an opportunity to demonstrate resilience. For Mahomes, the task is to transform surprise into motivation, reminding his teammates that adversity is temporary but legacy is permanent. Andy Reid must keep the locker room aligned, ensuring that outside noise does not fracture preparation. The Chiefs' veterans must step forward, reinforcing discipline and focus for the younger roster. Rivals will attempt to exploit any sign of weakness, but Kansas City has shown time and again that pressure brings out their best. Every upcoming game will carry heightened stakes, not only as competition, but as a test of unity. The path forward demands clarity, composure, and belief. If the Chiefs can channel the energy of this moment into performance, they may emerge stronger than ever. The revelation has altered perception, but the response remains in their control. The road is uncertain, but the opportunity to prove greatness endures. The shocking revelation that no one saw coming will be remembered as more than just a headline. For Kansas City, it is a moment that tests leadership, resilience, and unity. For Mahomes, it is a challenge that transcends touchdowns and statistics, demanding strength of character under scrutiny. For Reid, it is another opportunity to guide his team through turbulence with calm authority. For the franchise as a whole, it is a turning point where choices will shape legacy. Dynasties are not defined solely by victories, but by how they endure adversity. The Chiefs' ability to rise above shock will determine whether this moment becomes a fracture or a foundation for greater strength. History will not remember the revelation for its surprise alone, but for the response it demanded. Kansas City stands at a defining crossroads. Their future will be shaped not by disbelief, but by how they transform this moment into proof that greatness is built on resilience, perseverance, and unshakable belief.